Okay, there you go. Finally. Sorry, I'm like a little bit. I thought I'd be like 10 minutes late. Yeah. But anyway, the topic at hand tonight. Well, can't use an inhaler without the cap off. The topic at hand tonight is going to be about some vital and very, best said, required skills that essentially everybody needs to incorporate in order for them to actually obtain or grow as an individual on any level, on any aspect of life. So this is technically not even limited. Oh, good Lord, Lando, that's too late. No. Turn it off. Oh. Hello, Kayla. So everything that I'm going to be talking about can actually be applied to literally every part of life in some way, shape, or form. But specifically, since this, I'm an occultist and I talk about the occult field and all the lovely parts of it. Essentially, it's going to be with the occult practice and occult growth and occult study, esoteric and what have you, thought in mind. And some of these, I have to say, they kind of cannot be opinionated, meaning that they cannot be really argued against, because if you were to say, "Oh, I don't need to know how to do this," well, you're really not going to be able to. Hello, food abroad. You're not really going to be taking outside of you and what you're experiencing in front of you or being given. You're not going to be able to take it in and be able to see other potentials and other things, for example. So, first skill, the number one skill, this one probably is, if not the most important, and this one has to be put into daily practice. For as long as you exist on this lovely rock, number one, you have to know how to listen. I'll say it again. Let me clear my throat. Number one, please ensure you know how to listen. And no, allowing someone to talk and then interrupt them, or just allowing someone to talk and you tone out just all I wonder what I'm having for dinner tonight. I wonder if I really want to hex that 2-time and X of mine. Yeah, I really don't like how that 2-time and twat had try to take my man. So I think I'm gonna put a death hex on him. Oh, he's done talking. So okay, I'm back here. No, that's not listening. To be able to listen is the ability to understand when to allow somebody else to speak, obviously, but also be able to take in what they're saying. And when you take in something that somebody's saying, you don't have to keep all of it, because when you're listening, when you're being told the information, your brain, I mean, this happens quick, milliseconds. You hear it, and then your brain picks up on it, and then your thoughts and your moralistic thinking and how your ethics and your pretty much how your sense of morality and your philosophical background, it goes at it, it takes it apart and then analyzes it. Now, the choice you can have is you can choose to be meh with all of it, or you can choose to take bits and pieces of it that seem to coincide with you. Hello, Michael. Or if it actually jives with your viewpoint perfectly, then you can accept it and then engage in conversation to even deepen the philosophical point at hand. Now, what's not listening? Like I said before, when somebody is speaking and they're trying to give you information and try and just give you Like, for example, say if somebody was giving you factual information about, like, say, hmm, like about the planet Saturn present occult, and then they say, well, Saturn is a planet that is very slow, but he provides results that are like grounded. They may take a while to get there, but when you get them, they're not going anywhere. And then as soon as they finish saying that, the first thing that you say out of your mouth is saying, "Oh, where's your source on that? Who told you that? What book did you read? Where'd you hear that from? Who taught you that? Who said that? What are your sources?" That is something that happens way too much, 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 way too much. Way too much that happens nowadays on like literally every form of social media. When somebody is teaching something, immediately it's either sometime in the future or at the moment, somebody's like, where's your sources? Now don't get me wrong. I completely understand and I really appreciate somebody really wanting to double check what the person's saying. But at the time when you're listening to somebody, it's not your job to nitpick what they're saying to you and what they're providing to you. You take it, you analyze it, and then you take what works for you, what doesn't, or you take it all, or you be meh with it. But you take it all in. And most of the time, usually people that are really experienced in this field, and when they provide information just willy-nilly like this, if somebody who's not as experienced actually comes to them and says, what's your that's cute going about 50 in a 25 zone, dude. Be ashamed if the tires came off. Anyway. So say, like if somebody who's a veteran in this field and they're speaking about an information and then someone out of the blue comes out of left field out of nowhere and says, oh, where's your sources? What makes you say that? Where's your proof for that? Well, I'll put myself an example. Well, 12 years hands-on experience, trial and error, all by myself. But even after 2017 to 2019, I actually had a mentor give me everything he knew. So a good majority of my experience has been hands-on and what I've experienced. And at least for me. And I think I kind of know what I've experienced and what I've gone through and my success, failures, and, trial and error, results, no results, completely perfect results or complete critical fail with it. I kind of know what has happened with me. So if anything, that's the best source you got. And if you're sorry that, and if you're going to be upset because I don't have a book to provide, well, I don't use books. And I don't even, and believe it or not, I don't even use a book of shadows or a journal or any kind of magical book for that matter. Because everything that I know, it's in my head. But then again, when you have something somewhat of a placement on the autism spectrum, that kind of does sometimes have an advantage because you can recall it, information very simply. But anyway, most of the time, the people that do speak about the field and actually are actually talking about something in a way that is a bit over a lot of people's heads. Like, for example, say, like over in India, how there's the guru figures that actually sit in front of a good crowd of people. And that one guru figure is just taking questions and just answering questions, sometimes in a very complex way, but also in a simplistic way. How they are answering the questions and talking about a topic is pretty much the exact same thing that I'm doing. But the only thing that's different is, well, for one, I am not anywhere close to anywhere near their level. In comparison, it's like you're taking me, a little ant, and you're putting it right next to a colossal elephant. That's the comparison. And keep in mind, these guru figures from India, they've been practicing their spiritual pujas, their sadhana, probably double the length of my living on this earth. So if somebody was to actually interrupt them and say, oh, where's your sources about that, guru? I don't think that would be the best idea. If anything, what I can definitely see happening is just them responding. And that's all they would do. And this simple gesture, even though they're not saying a word, what it means is, child, 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 how can you have lived so long with that stupidity in your head? You should have been killed by now. That's putting it nicely. But overall, the big one, the biggest one, you have to be able to learn how to listen and take in what's being given to you. You don't have to take it all, but you have to analyze it and then think from your perspective. Can you take anything from it? Can you only take bits and pieces? Or does it completely connect with you on a really perfect level that you can take it in and then deepen it with the other person that's teaching you? That's number one. Number two. Hey. You have to understand what is true to you and what's not true to you. In other words, you know what's best for you. I don't know what's best for you. I know what's best for me. Nobody else knows what's best for me. I know exactly where I want to go. Nobody needs to know exactly where I want to go. I decide what route I take. Nobody decides what route I take. You get the idea. Meaning, if you are in complete control of your life and you're making the choices, and if somebody comes along and says, you shouldn't be doing that. Hello, Kendra. I'm always so happy to see her. Whenever you have somebody come towards you and say, I think you should not be doing that. Well, for one, because this is something that happens to me quite frequently. Like people saying, "Oh, you pretty much associate with those entities, the darker side. What's wrong with them? Well, aren't you afraid of them possessing you?" No, no. If anything, it just when you have people actually doing that, it's either number one, they are completely intimidated of what you're practicing and the route you're going on, that they subconsciously act out like that because they don't understand. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I can completely understand if somebody doesn't understand something, but instead of like acting out in an aggressive way, they actually approach it in the way saying, "So, your practice, can you tell me more about it? Why is it dark? Why is it this? Why is it called this? And why is it practiced like this? How does it get this association with it?" But this person, again, like the first thing that I advocated, this person is actually active listening and really taking in all that you're giving to them. And when you have somebody doing that and actually putting in the effort to learn, well, then it's a completely different story. But now when you have, say, for an example, let's say, I thought I dropped one of my crystals, but now I don't know where it went. Oh well. I'll get it in a moment. Say, for an example, you have. I'm trying to be really gentle with this one because this one happens a bit too much. When you have somebody pushing a way that a practice and a belief system is to the point where it actually starts crippling and harming and pretty much putting out a bad stereotype to masses of people. Probably the best example is like how Satanism is looked at. Like, oh my gosh, they murder babies and they do this to all of them. No, that's a stereotype. And if anything, that's actually going to be tying into the next point too, so I might as well get that part in here too. When you're not allowing yourself to open up to other viewpoints and other beliefs, heck, when you're not taking a moment to step back from your standpoint and then giving the other type of belief system that you may not agree with and be completely against, if you're not giving them an equal opportunity to pretty much for you to approach them and actually just learn about it, just to see what they are about, what their primary focus is, and what they teach, their philosophy. If you're not opening yourself up to that, that is a big cripple. Don't limit yourself on the types of philosophies and practices you can learn from. Because believe it or not, when you start limiting yourself, you can't really expand. And when it comes to right or wrong, really, that comes down to the individual on a personal level. I see my crystal. Yeah, this got stuck underneath the little table thing I'm sitting at. So when you're able to understand that, okay, this belief system, even though I completely have a bit of a lean back against it, I'm still going to learn about it to know that it exists and understand what it's about. And even if there's some parts that make me go, what in the world is this thing talking about? This makes no sense to me. I want nothing to do with that. Oh, Lord, no. Just knowing about it and understanding how it operates is still a good way to expand and understand how it works and how, if in case somebody throws it at you trying to pin you down, you can reverse it back to them in a way to show that, look, I have my faith, you have yours, but unfortunately, I cannot agree with how you believe. Like, for an example, say like how in Islam, how women are treated below like a dog. No, me, I cannot jive with that ever, because to me, that's like, okay, you're taking essentially the one who brings life from the spirit world down to earth. You're pretty much degrading it, and you're putting it down so harshly and abusing it that it's like, why would you do that to essentially the only ones that can bring life into the world and nurture that life and help it grow? And not only that, too, have the probably, if not the most intimate connection between a person and person, which is mother and child. That's pretty intensely connected. And that's how mother's intuition is pretty much where it gets it from. And mother knows you cannot hide anything from her. She's definitely not new here. And she's completely connected to you in all that regard. See, what's another one? What's another video back to go? Oh, here's a good one. This is probably a really good one. Mm-hmm. This one pretty much, I think a lot of the women can agree with. If for any reason, when you're in a intelligent debate against somebody about philosophical standpoints, and the arguments, it's not getting into an argument, it's not verbal, it's actually taking the beliefs and they're bringing them to each other, and they're not really, it's not a debate that's heated, but it's actually saying, well, this is what this faith believes. I believe that this way. I believe in this. This doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like how this faith believes like this, but it's civil. When that turns into something like when you have somebody calling a woman who's in this debate and speaking a vulgar name, that's not going to better you. If anything, that just shows that, oh, he got his like the way he philosophically expresses himself, he hit a wall. and now he doesn't have anywhere to go, so he insults the opponent or the opposition. When you insult the opposition, that doesn't show you have any philosophical standpoint. When you debate and actually present your standpoint against theirs, that's the best to your logical and philosophical and intellectual standing with wisdom. When you do that, it shows that you're providing your best foot forward and you're actually encouraging them to share theirs too on a civil playing field. Because with philosophy and actually ways of thinking and actually trying to exchange ideas, when you do it correctly, both of you expand in those philosophies that you didn't have much growth in the first place. You both are like exchanging views and you're both going up, which is actually the best kind of wealth you can get on this earth. That's real wealth. Okay, let's see. Hand me my station shite. I'm probably going to need that in like 2 seconds. Which is this little softy. And give me one more stone. Where's my... that'll work. Blue topaz. Okay. Let's see. Next one. This one I've already talked about like in the previous stream, but this one, again, it still holds its purpose. When it comes to knowing your place, and by knowing your place, meaning that knowing how much you've invested in a path in art, study, or type of pursuit, and then when you have somebody who is extremely more veteran and they have the credentials to back it up, either with experience, degrees, or history in the field, hands-on, when they come in and they provide like a correction to you, that's usually the best indication to just take it and accept it, which is precisely why. And I mean, this is something I do naturally. Like Kindred knows about me when I do this, like saying, well, if I ever say anything that's not correct about either Satanism, the Goetius, the Goetic divine spirits, or anything of the sorts, if I say something that's incorrect, I would want that to be completely corrected on the spot. Like, no, Brendan, that's not how it goes. Okay, now I know. And I would really rather prefer people get accurate information that they can actually know 100% that it's like this, rather than them be given something that is not correct. Because that's one of the biggest fears I have, giving somebody wrong information and then it doesn't give them the best potential of growth or gains that they're looking for. But when you have somebody who's a veteran, an elder, or somebody who's really excelled or essentially holding the credentials to say, I can speak about this. So that's when you it's best to not stand against them. Especially if they have any kind of certificate, degree, or any kind of like verifying document. I don't like saying it that way. Or something backing up saying that, yeah, this person went to this institution or this person has put in the effort, the work, and the investment to obtain such credentials of this subject, that yeah, they can speak about this and they're not new here with it, so they should be listened to. Because the only credentials that I have, I mean, for goodness sakes, I only have 4 in astrology. That's it. There's 4 in astrology, that's it. 2 of them are in synastry, relationship astrology. 1 is in Vedic astrology. And my newest one is also in the nakshatras, which is the constellations within the zodiac signs. That's all I got. And although the thing is with astrology, that's one of the subjects where it's very difficult, at least regarding the United States, at least by their standards, to have like a doctrine in an occult science, an occult practice. Because the way the occult works is like you can just simply hold this crystal and go, Habushki. Now you have money all over the place. It just comes out of left field, but of course it's not going to be like, okay, Habushk. Bags of money just fall. One hits you on the head. It's not going to be that whimsical and like extravagant, no. But the way the occult works, when it takes effect and it gets played out, it just takes just holding something and then just something as simple as that. Give it some time, and then there's the wish that you were having in your head and you were desiring. And then somebody else can take pretty much the exact same crystal, like the same species of crystals, like a clear quartz, do the same thing, Habushki, and then all of a sudden they now have, they broke their ankle 2 minutes later because of it. That's just how unpredictable the occult is. And that's why it can be very difficult to even get credentials in there, but having the understanding of how it works and how it can be taught on an academical level, if that's the right word, that's completely different. But like how over in India, there are those who practice Vedic astrology, and they actually have doctrines. They're a doctor in Vedic sidereal astrology. And there's even specific parts of Vedic astrology, such as Vastu, which in India is like Feng Shui. But with Vastu, you're working with like the directions, the planets, the elements, color. Yeah, you're really going in deep with that one. And depending on like how the house is set up, yeah, it's just as, if not identical, close to Feng Shui. And then there's the Shastra, which is like a specific set within the astrology. That's called, let's see if I can try and pronounce it, Panchipaga, which essentially it shows the hour of, it pretty much shows how a native it is based on like how their energy levels, like their strong period of the day, their weak period, their neutral, and their danger zone, their flight mode, I think that's what it's called, or something like that. And depending on what your birth placements are, you can be one of, I believe there's 6 birds. I believe, I could be wrong. You can either be an owl, a vulture, a crow, a rooster, or it's actually known as a cock there, for goodness sakes. Then there's also, I said vulture, and peacock's another one. And each bird, believe it or not, actually represents an element. Peacock is ether, the ether element. Now, let's see here. I believe vulture is, I believe in that system, I believe it could be earth, but I could be definitely wrong. So feel free, if you know it, hit me in the head with it. Crow, I believe is water. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, and I could definitely be wrong. Rooster is fire. And then owl is air, wind, which that one kind of does make sense. Because it's the air element, for goodness sakes. But depending on like which bird is your birth, that's going to sound so weird. Depending on which one's your birth bird, oh, that's a tongue twister. Depending on which one it is, and depending on like how your biometric rhythm is for the day, it kind of advises you throughout the day, like, okay, this is a good time to start doing an activity that you want to do. This is a time for you to slow down. And you can also see minor compatibility with like how you can take like how the peacock, well, with the peacock, the only issue with that bird is that unless it's another peacock, the other birds are going to be like, what in the world is this thing? And not really get along with it well. Because, well, it's Argus, for goodness sakes. Look at all those eyes on that thing. But still. But it does show, like, the challenges and compatibility with each bird. Like, crow and vulture, they get along well because, I mean, they're both birds of death. Let's see. What's another? Let me think if I can think of another skill which is good. Oh, when it comes to expanding your, I'm going to scooch it back a little bit. Quoting backwards a little bit. Let's see. When it comes to, a little bit more. When you're expanding your practice and what you routinely use and what you base your practice on. Now, this one you can be a little bit. You can maybe potentially push back a little bit with this one, but for me, it's like, no, you can't. You cannot say no to this one. When it comes to practice, you have to. It is probably, if not the best, to start at the root of a practice. Like, for example, say if you're doing traditional witchcraft, it's best to start at the root. Start with the root and then work your way through it and go through it all. And then if you want to start being eccentric and you're putting in your own viewpoint and your own uniqueness to it, then yes, of course. In fact, that's how I practice. I like to essentially maintain tradition, and where there are some traditions, like for example, Santeria Voodoo, you have to be initiated. You have to go through. You have to have somebody initiate you through it. And when you're initiated in that practice, I might be wrong, but potentially, I believe, if I'm correct, once you're initiated, you're kind of stuck with it, and you have to keep maintaining it. And that's just how it is. And when you're choosing to go towards a practice like that, it's a very serious thing. Like, you're taking a handed down tradition and now you're going to be committing to it. So it's like now an expectation of you to keep that tradition going and practiced. And when you are doing a tradition like that, you have to go by the book. You have to go exactly how the ancestors have done it and passed it on generation. Then there is not really much room at all. It has to be done the same way. While practices that are more flexible, like for example, hoodoo. Now, but I'm saying hoodoo. Now, when I say hoodoo, like traditional folk magic, like how, for example, say if you're making a 7-day candle and you're preparing it and you're putting herbs and oil and all that, and then you're putting symbols on it. Now that can be adaptable. A style of magic like that is more flexible. But when it comes to like, okay, when you have to do a certain incantation at this time of the day on this day, when this specific yeah, I do too. And even then too, a lot of people sometimes, I think they kind of do get really wrapped up, like how there are some, like, I mean, the Goetia and the I can't even pronounce it, but it's like the Pseudonarium and Demato. I can't even pronounce it, but they follow books like that to the T. Like, they make sure that the triangle is like completely perfect and just like, no. You don't have to make it overly fancy. If you want to follow this step-by-step thing, you can. But for me, what works best for me, just if you want to go towards one of the spirits, just simply make sure that the environment's in a nice, calm, meditative spot, and get their symbol or sigil, and don't have the seal around them. Just don't do the seal. Just have it there, and then just call out to them. Be patient, and then just go for your connection from there. And if you're inviting them in, you for me, I've never really felt the need to put myself in a circle because to me that makes me come off as like, oh, so this person invited me into his space and now he's standing in a circle. Does he think that I'm just going to act aggressive just like that for no reason? Does he think I have no self-control? He thinks I'm aggressive? He hasn't even known me yet. Okay, that doesn't leave a good impression. That's why, me personally, I don't like having circles or anything like a boundary like that because it's just like I'm inviting somebody in. Now I'm like, okay, I'm protected and you can't cross this. Oh, okay, that's kind of a little bit odd. Especially if you invite one of the kings in. That's not a good first impression. Especially like my video when I talked about King Beleth. If you do that, that's not gonna start on the right foot. That's not gonna start on the right foot. I can say that much. And most definitely, when working with spirits and entities and any of those and beings altogether, especially the goetic divines, please, for the love of Lord Lanta, don't grab your ritualistic tool or hazel wand or whatever bloody thing you have and be all like, you go stand there. Don't do that. Please, just don't do that. Because if anything, the way that I like to tell people is like, put yourself now in that Goetic Divine shoes. You invited them in your space. Okay. Somebody invited you in your space. Now you are in their space. And now you see this person doing this to you. Okay, you stand there. Stand there. Really, kid? No. That's what I would think. Like, okay, really? You're inviting me in and now you're going to be all demanding me and commanding me all over the place? Rude. And that's honestly the best form of advice I can really give anybody when it comes to like establishing a connection with any of them. When you invite them in, you don't have to be demanding, commanding. Just like invite them like if you're inviting over somebody that's a human into your home. Be hospitable. It's not that difficult. I mean, if anything, if the connection doesn't seem to be going right and there's like slight friction at all, you always have the right to tell them, look, unfortunately I believe that this meet is not really going for the best of both of us. I would like to dismiss this right now if it's fine with you, and maybe within the future we can attempt to meet up again. But for right now, for respect out of you, I would like to kind of close here. Is that all right with you? Now, I can guarantee you nearly like almost every consistent time, when you give that to them and you speak that to them, and if you're honest about it, they're not going to have a problem with ending it right then and there. And actually, they would respect you more because you're taking in consideration only them and their time. Because never ever do they have to come when you invite them in. If they choose to come in, well then, good. If they don't come, okay, well then it is what it is. But if they make the choice to give time out of their existence to come towards you for whatever reason you want them to, that's a big deal. And these beings, they could be off doing something else. They could be assisting other people. But at the current moment with you, they're giving you the time, which cannot be taken back. as I like to put it. So make the most out of your time. And of course, there's absolutely nothing wrong with just simply inviting them over just to even just communicate and just talk to them. Like for an example, one spirit that I love actually communicating with, and I just immediately like as soon as I have his name pop in my head, I just hear him like close by, just like, oh, dandelion. Well, I'm not going to make that joke. But for me, I really enjoy just interacting with Dantalion. And if you're not familiar with Dantalion, he's actually one of the dukes of King Paimon. And Dantalion excels. And when I say excels, I mean like legit. It's like consistently proficient and pretty much does such quality or ability or practice flawlessly every time. He excels with anything regarding human psyche, mental health, emotional health, and it's also like probably, if not the known goetic divine over being like a psychiatrist, um, a mental health practitioner, or essentially somebody who you can speak to and they'll help organize your thoughts and also change them too if they're not really providing the best for you. And the times that I've actually had him, not right now, dude. I know you want to. Stop it. Yeah, I know. I know it's fun. Just next time, okay? Thank you. Depending on like how do I best put this? Like, say if I'm like going towards him, and it's just like if you're going, like if I was going towards him for the first time, of course, I mean, I would highly suggest like going towards any spirit for that matter of the Glacier. Just simply go towards them and just address them by their title. Even if it's like Knight Volcross, I believe it's Volcross. Even Knight, well, that's still his title. When you address them as their title and then their name, that little thing makes a difference. And of course, after some time, when they say you don't have to call me king or what have you, but with King Paimon, the first time you interact with him, and probably a good few times, it's suggested still call him king, unless if he tells you don't have to call me king, just call me Paimon. If he tells you that, that's different. But first encounter, definitely call him king, please, please. It'll make it so much easier for you, and a lot easier for everybody else. Oh, I'm gonna stretch my legs. My legs kind of feel a little dead. So, I guess I'll take it open for some questions now, if anybody has any. There was a little fly that was bugging me, and I'm just like, I'm gonna kill this bloody annoying thing, and hopefully it is gone. Well, when I smacked it, it apparently vanished off the face of the earth. I hope. And if I happen to, accidentally blind any of you with my flashlight, I apologize. It was not intended. Well, it appears that wherever it went, it must have vanished. It must have got smacked so hard that it literally just poofed. Best way to put it. One simply does not get squished and goes a poof. Oh well. Discovered any new crystals lately? Oh boy. New crystals. Oh boy. Um let's see. Oh, that's a good question. Well, on hand, let's see. Do I have any new ones on hand? Like brand new ones. Well, let's see here. Let me see if I can bring over my my little crystal breakfast club real quick. Actually, I don't know if I spoke about that one. Let's see. Actually, it's a Kindred. It's actually a good thing you actually brought that up, because I mean I need to remember all these stones that I have anyway, just so that way I remember the names, because I got a lot of them. Oh boy. Actually, I'll take that little one because I have one of that one already. Get over here. Oh, you're just a little rose quartz. Or as I like to call it, Kardashian quartz. Like the crystal that, oh, everybody knows that one. Oh, everybody knows rose quartz. Oh, everyone knows that one. Come on. Yeah. It's kind of like an inside joke with my friend Adam, who is actually where I got most of my crystals from. Okay, that's that one. Okay, that's black obsidian. I can go that way. That's rhodochrosite quartz. There's that one. I already had stone like that. Metallic. Oh well, yeah. It's a bead, but that still counts. Okay, let's see here. I guess I play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Crystal Edition. If that's the case, yeah, no, just leave that there. Let's see. Do I have any other stones that are not close to me that are in here that I did not grab? Speak note of whatever, hold your notes. So, 3. What are you? Oh, dang it is. Oh, haha. That one almost got away. Oh, there's another one. Food. Are there any more? Nope, okay. Oh, haha. I knew there was one. It's tiny though, but it'll still count. See over yonder? Yep, you come over here. Little one. That's Kunzite and clear quartz over yonder, and they cannot move that one. Actually, here. That's where we're good obsidian. Okay, so. Oh boy. Talk about stone galore here. Oh boy. Well, like what they say, if you're going to be teaching about a subject, let's really hope you know your stones. Okay, so first one. This one is actually a vial of a stone called Phenokite. I'm going to try not to make it be like you're getting sleepy, but that's Phenokite. Turn it off. Like right in there. Maybe I might need some light. Just level 1. Yeah, in there that is Phenokite. Phenokite, let me tell you, when I first got this stone, oh boy, what a whoa it was. Like no joke. Like as soon as I got this in the mail from my friend, actually, wait a minute. There is one more stone that I got that I know. Hold on. Let me just open this thing up. Okay, that way we can kind of see at the same time. Get there. Now, Phenokite, believe it or not, is also known as the stone called. It's actually the name. Phenokite actually translates, I believe, from Greek. And again, I could be completely wrong and completely whiffing it. Oh, wait. There is another one. This little beauty. Oh, boy. Wasn't this one to find? Let me just get back over there once I can find the one stone that I'm looking for. It's on the left. There it is. Let's go. Oh, this one's a beauty when I get to it. I was even shocked when I realized, oh, wait a minute. That is something important. But anyway, Phenokite. Phenokite is known for, essentially, it appears like clear quartz. It looks like clear quartz, but the structure of it is completely different. Phenokite, again, means from Greek as deceiver. Phenokite, to best put it, think of it like if you're taking a piece of, oh boy, let's see here. You're taking like a very small little, oh, just touching the stone, I'm already feeling it. You're taking a little bit of phenokite, and now you're pretty much, no, not phenokite, apophyllite. Yeah, taking phenokite, now you're taking, I gotta put that down. Oh, you're taking apophyllite, and now you're taking like a big chunk full of clear quartz, and now you're just going on top of it. Yeah. Oh, that was not a good idea. Oh. But phenokite pretty much takes the third eye and the throat from here all the way up past the crown. It just goes, just completely like opens it. And as soon as I touch this thing, because whenever I touch a stone that I've never touched before, it just happens with every stone that I touch that I've never touched before. It's like I touch it and then I like connect to it in a way. When I first connected to this, I literally felt something just go like expansion right there. Then both ears popped, and then I heard a "eeng," like a high pitch, like when you hit a piece of metal and it goes "eeng," kind of like that. Yeah, that's what I heard. And Phenokite actually is actually known for astral projection and astral travel. And because since it's the deceiver too, it's also good for that, being able to put up a veil and just kind of deception work, if you want to put it that way. Now the next one. Oh, boy. Yeah, we'll save that one for last. This one is the pink Argonite. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, let me get this stupid bloody thing out of the way. Down you go. Okay, good. We can see my face better. Here's the pink Argonite. This little beauty. Now, some people may be thinking, well, it's like rose quartz. Oh, no. Pink Argonite. Argonites have the quality of Saturn involved. Because Argonites are all about the structure, they're all about focus, they're all about maintaining and keeping something consistent. Yeah, essentially, of the stones, this is like the Saturnian bunch. Like how there's many colors of quartz, many colors of calcite. Yeah, this is the many colors of Argonite. And it's also more soft too, in both like the structure and the color emission. And it's gentle and soft, but definitely it's a strict one. Pretty much think of it like you have a very beautiful, elegant woman, but she's very strict and she has high standards. And if you don't meet the standards, she kind of whacks you one. Like, oh, no, you're not getting into the right state of mind. You had to go back the other way. Now, this one, oh boy. I almost flipped out when I realized, wait a minute, is that what I think it is? No, this can't be one of those. But it is, though. Yeah. Well, it's the type of stone Argonite, because those stones, they're primarily focused on like keeping things structured and organized and like keeping like the dedication to something. This one, it's tiny, but it still counts. Here, let's see if the camera will get it. This, I hope it does justice. This, you might look at me like, no way. This is a green moonstone. A green moonstone. Now, green moonstone. Let's see if it, like, if you little nasty, get over here. Ah! Yeah, it's a green moonstone. Yep, it's a nice thing to say. Yep, green moonstone. It's a rare one. Yeah, and whoop, yep, dropped it, but still. But here's a green moonstone. They're not really that common. There's rainbow moonstone, black moonstone, obviously. Um, there's regular moonstone. There's a green moonstone. Well, obviously the one there. Um, I can't remember. There's another type of moonstone, but I think there is. But yeah, that green moonstone. I forgot that I had it. It was actually in one of my other things where I have my other stones in, besides this thing over here. Okay, let's see. What are you? Oh, we have, of course, the green. Oh, peach moonstone. Yep. Start. Oh, Kayla, that's a good one. How come I never thought of that one? Oh my lord! Wow, I'm dim-witted. How can I not have thought of peach moonstone, for goodness sakes? Like here, let's see. This I don't know if the stone it'll be able to pick it up, but you see kind of like how the peachy colors in this. Yeah, that's the peach moonstone. Oh my good lord! Gosh, I really need to get this blonde out of my head. God. And Star Moonstone. Hello, Mara. But Star Moonstone, I wasn't expecting that one, but like how Star Ruby, Star Sapphire, Star Garnet. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, the most popular one. I can't help but think when I hear Peach, I think of like the real slap her from around the world. Yeah, that's the real slap her from around the world. Princess Peach slapping Jigglypuff 5 times repeated. Then here, this is a green adventurine. Eh, when I do tarot readings, which might be the next live, just hold that question because right now I'm actually discussing another topic. But just keep that in mind, okay? Okay, green adventurine. Yep, and also a luckstone. Let's see. Of course. Okay, now this little guy. I've had this. I've had this thing. Oh, good lord! Back in like 2017. Yeah, I've had this thing since then. Yeah, this little guy has been with me since those years, and it's actually the first stone that I got from Pamita, my friend Pamita, the one that actually had that Lilith, um, what is that called? Rosary. Yeah, the one. Yeah, she's the one who actually, got me my first stone like that. Like, oh Lord, first clear quartz, and she also was where I got these other two, and I haven't more. Oh, yep, that one too. Any more? I'm gonna double check. Looks like that one is gonna be a nope. Okay, so I also got from her this Unikite Jasper. This cutesy little selenite heart, which I'm pretty surprised it hasn't disintegrated yet. Because being on the move a lot, selenite tends to be like, I'm out and disintegrate and just. Now, this one, a lot of people are like, no, that can't be turquoise. Technically, it is. It's Nevadian? Like it's turquoise from Nevada. Yeah. And that's the heart stones. I tend to actually make like a kind of like a kind of like chakra grid that starts from like at the base with like a hematite heart and it goes all the way up as much as I could. And that one that's kind of like how I do like my alignment with the hearts pointing downward and then I flip them the other way and go up. That's another way. I'm gonna save that one for last because that's like my guilty pleasure stone. Of course, the apophyllite. Apophyllite. Oh, apophyllite. Best said, it's like selenite, but you are kicking it up a notch. Like you're literally taking selenite in your times to get by 5,000. Like, oh, it it literally shakes your system in a good way. It's pretty much like, for example, when you're cleaning something, instead of like using like gentle material, you're taking, oh boy, you're like taking bleach and you're completely bleaching out the place, but it's so harsh that the chemical after scent is like, oh, yeah, it's like that. It's like overkill cleansing and purification. The next one, let's see. Here is, let's go. No, I'm gonna make sure that I don't have any duplicate. Oh, here we go. Now here, this little guy. Oh, let me tell you, this is a real hematite. Literally, this thing is a real hematite. Let me grab a piece of metal. Hand me a piece of metal, would you? Okay, let me double check. Okay, that's not real metal. That will not work. So, oh here. Okay, here we go. So this legit is a real hematite. This little guy is heavy. So here's my key ring. Got the metal ring. Sit still. Okay, so we got the ring. We got the hematite. Yeah, that is legit hematite because it is so hard to not let this thing get it. But yeah, that is. Don't throw it at me. This is a legit hematite. This thing is charged. This thing is like mine. Okay. And that's really how hematite needs to be. Yep. And how there are some. I don't even know if I don't even know if it's in within reach, but I have like the hematite, like a hematite heart somewhere. But it's not. It's like. It's not like up. It's not. Oh, there it is. Wait. Well, I mean, it does. It does pull to it. But when it comes to like potency, this hematite completely beats this one any day. This one's just like mine. Yeah, that this one pulls. This one not it pulls, but not as much as that one. Because yeah, this one I mean it's like this one is like if there's metal, it'll just go jump on somebody's head. Let go. Okay, this one is a black obsidian, like legit black obsidian. Like that one is like pitch black night obsidian, and that's the kind of obsidian I like. See, let's. Oh, here's a little stone called Amazonite. Even though it's a B, it still counts. Amazonite. I like to call Amazonite the stone that's sassy. Well, because Amazonite. What's the first thing that comes in mind? Amazon. Amazoness warriors. Oh boy, don't mess with them, because they'll probably pick up that man over there and split him in two, and probably make them all cattle. So yeah, don't make the Amazoness mad, because they'll probably spear you. Next one. Dalmatian Jasper. Don't jump. There's a Dalmatian Jasper. Get over here. No, not you. Well done. Found it. Yep. That is a real Amazonite. And Amazonite, I believe it comes in more colors than just the green. I think it comes into I think I've seen gray Amazonite, and I've seen a tealish Amazonite. Yep. And I mean, when it comes to stones like the kind that I wear, I really try my best to only wear legit stones, the most that I can. Now, don't get me wrong, of course. I mean, there are some that are dyed that I wear sometimes, but it's still the stone with the dye. It still has the color therapy. It still has the color therapy and the color associations with it, but deep down, it's still like, for example, that magenta tiger's eye that I have. That it's still tiger's eye and it still has the color association, but when you're working with stones that are dyed, you got to be able to just push your way through the dyes because at first it's like, ugh, don't like the dye, but once you get used to it, it's like it's just gonna completely just stay focused. Okay, there's the tiger's eye. Okay, there's the color. Just okay, grounded, and then just transmuting and deflecting. That's Dalmatian Jasper. Here is a red. Well, this one I'm so close to calling it orange jade, but this is a red jade, like a orange or red jade. That's actually part of a bracelet that a friend of mine gave me. Let's see, what's next on the list? Let's see if I'm gonna weed out stones I've already done. Up here, here's a big honker piece of citrine, not heat treated, to my knowing. Like here, let me turn up the light a little bit. I hope this isn't good because it doesn't feel burned. Yep, and I think red jade, I believe, it has the energy of ki, I believe, and red jade is very what's that word? It's very zestful and has a lot of life to it. Yep, this one's a citrine, and not the shape citrine of that, but still. Okay, what's next on this list? Oh, I guess I'll bring out the tiger's eye. Yeah, this one. This one actually, I mean, it's not really that bright. I mean, some spots are more bright than others, but it's like, it's mellow. It's not like, okay, we threw this one into a furnace and, we didn't take a piece of amethyst and, cooked it and made it like, gosh, didn't make it like macaroni and cheese stone. Please, no. Here's a good tiger's eye. Like the stone. Not I didn't go into a tiger and be like, hey, can I borrow your eye? Yoink. No. Oh, now that's it. Whoa. Even just the glare off of it. That is a tiger's eye. And I like, you know, just seeing like how the light and how it reflects off like that. It's just very relaxing to look at when it does that. It's like mesmerizing and calming. Yeah, it's just so calming too. Yep, that's a tiger's eye, and then here's the the red version of it, which is called oxeye or red tiger's eye, or as I like to call it vampire's eye because it just sounds better that way. Now this one, see if I can. It's just shaped differently, and I got to figure out a way to get it. See here. Of course, yeah, of course. Actually, there we go. Just had to get it hit it just right. Yep, this is one of those favorites. So I'm gonna put that back in their spot. Let's see. Next one. Oh, of course. How could I? How, if speaking of her now, like how the next one I grab is Bloodstone. Now this is a Bloodstone. I mean, even the light is picking up at it. It's like, oh yeah, you can definitely see that that's a Bloodstone. No questions asked. That is a good Bloodstone. That is a good one. Now, here is a real beauty. This one is the Star Garnet. Now, with stones that are a star like this, they only get this quality of being a star stone when they're like cut and tumbled. They have to be cut or tumbled. Yes, I miss. Well, if you want to be technical, in a way, let's see if I can find it. Oh, yeah, and it's funny because it's funny. It's funny you say that because this is actually the clear quartz you gave me, and I actually did make this. I actually made this one like the blood quartz though, and I actually legitimately followed followed what was said in your book to actually bless it as a blood quartz, and I just put it in the spot for some time. Yeah, but then I cleansed it afterwards when she took the offering from it. But yeah, Star Garden now. Like, let's see if I can get it to do it. There we go. Like how the surface has that little bit of a flip on it. Yeah, there we go. Here's a good bit of it right there. Yeah, that's what makes it a star garnet. And because it being a star stone, I like to see all star stones that have this quality. All of them have the quality of Aquarius with them. Well, point being, yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited. But the thing that makes me most excited is that I got the first print. I got the out of print version. But with the star stones, they have the Aquarian quality because they go against the norms of society, which is essentially for the stones, just how they are when they're naturally out of the earth. So star stones, they're actually unique in that regard. Yes, lovely, you may have it. Next one. Oh, this little one. A good old ruby. Cannot go wrong with ruby. I have definitely gotten used to this little one. Before, I could barely keep my hands on it. It was so hot. But now I'm like, okay. Little Miss Scarlet. But yeah. Sit still. Next one. Oh, good boy. Yeah. As you can definitely see, I have quite the collection, and I really like how most of the stones I have are some stones that are not really. How do I put it? They're not really known of, and they're really unique. But then again, I'm somebody who likes the uniqueness anyway. Let's grab another unique one. Let's grab Tugtupite. Yeah, me at first like, oh gosh, this ruby. Oh lord, it's too hot. Okay, I'm getting used to it now. Now this little beauty, this one is only found in Greenland. The little Tugtupite, and I mean, good Lord Landa, Lilith loves this one. Literally, she loves this one because it's not only a rare stone, it has the quality when you expose it to heat or light for a period of time, the clearness in it. Let's see if I can get it to pop up. You can actually start to see the clearness turn a bit into pink. And it's actually believed when an American native that was, I believe, Eskimo or somewhere around there. Um, she was actually giving birth, but because since she got impregnated by I can't remember what spirit. You might actually know the maybe you might know the legend too, but when she gave birth, the blood from her birthing life into the new life that she was carrying into the world, the blood that fell onto the stone was actually what made Tuktupite. And Tuktupite actually is a stone that actually activates the depths of the heart and allows it to come out in a more playful way. And it's also very cheaty. And the longer you expose it to light or heat, the more pink it gets to an extent. But when you take it away from there, it actually goes back to the clear, which is actually, yeah, that thing just turned pink all the way. It's actually a really, not really that commonly found stone, but it is one definitely I would suggest checking out. Let's see another. Oh, here's one. I love this one. This one is also another stone that was believed to be of American Native history and heritage. This one is Rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite is actually believed to be blood from the American Native ancestors that seeped into the earth. And Rhodochrosite actually excels in actually helping somebody connect to their ancestral line and being able to go back generation. But also Rhodochrosite does have a bit of a flirty, playful side to it. Yeah, it can definitely be a little bit playful, but it definitely makes you face parts that's in the depths of you that you haven't come clean with yet, but still go at it in a way that's a bit playful, but it does it does have a bit of a push to it. That's another one. Another unique one, if you would. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. This one. This is probably like one of Lilith's absolute favorites. Thulite. Oh boy. Talk about if you want to know of a stone that is essentially all about having legit fun, just having parties all night long and just having fun, like not living a life that's boring. Thulite, that is the stone for you. It is a mixture of fire and earth. It brings you, it gives you the zest to actually enjoy the world. And it's a very, a nasty stone if you catch my drift, but it does give a lot of zest to experience the senses in the world to the best extent and actually enjoy it without any fear of like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, no. That stone says, oh, boundaries. Well, those only come into play when you're in danger. Yeah, that's how that stone thinks. It's very playful and very exuberant, if that's the right word. Let's see. Next one. Let's go with. Well, we'll go with some of the ones that are known just to get them out of the way. Here's the basic rose quartz, but hey, it's still the good thing with quartz though is that they're easily programmable, and there's a really good carnelian one. Woohoo! That is a good carnelian. The quartz stones, they're very easy to get along with, and they're really good with energizing, and they're really good with taking attention. But I mean, I have to say, I love me the clear quartz. I love clear quartz because at the end of the day, all you have to do with the clear quartz, if you needed to do something and you do not have the stone for it to do it, all you need is just the clear quartz. And then you just really got to tell it what you want it to do. Pretty much, like, say, for example, let's see here. Vibrate in a way that actually makes me more appealing for a chance to get like a raise or something. And then you can just charge it for however way you deem fit. I like to either just have the intention in mind and just blow it on the stone, and then I just hold on to it whenever I'm like going anywhere where the intention needs to be more emphasized. I just squeeze into it with my receptive hand, goes in like this, goes into like the vein goes right into the heart, and the energy flows like throughout the body system like that. That's just one of the ways. But really, clear quartz, yeah, clear quartz. Literally, if it could say something, it says, "Yeah, I'll do it." That, I mean, that's like literally what it can do. Oh, you want me to do that? Yeah, okay, I can do that. But the good thing that I like about clear quartz, even if you don't even tell it to do anything by default, it's like, oh, I don't know, I wasn't told anything. Okay, I'll just amplify everything. It kind of can. It just acts on its own. So like by default does what it's it needs. It does what it's supposed to do without you having to tell it. By default, that is. And if you don't want to amplify, well, don't forget that you gotta tell it what to do. Otherwise, it's gonna just amplify and love tap everything. Here, let's see if I can get a good grip on it. This one is a little orange calcite. And yes, it's definitely a calcite. It is very squishy. It feels like I'm holding a little orange spongy. I believe this is a stone of Samuel, I believe. If I'm correct. I might be wrong. I think it is. It's very, I don't know, it feels very enlightening, but it's like a warmth that's like expanding and is very gentle. And not like how it's just like hello, like a sunstone. That, see what's in another one I got over here. What is you saying in blue? Blue goldstone? Well, blue goldstone has copper content in it, and even though it's a man-made stone, wow, I didn't know. I didn't even know that about. I didn't know about. Is that just like when it comes to calcite? Is that like with generally all calcites, or is it, or specific ones like I can see clear calcite doing that primarily, but calcite as a ghost protector? Yeah, well, I didn't know that. Well, nice to know if I'm ever going to a haunted place, I could just be all like, "Hey, I got calcite. Don't make me whip it out. Don't make me throw this at you, ghosty." No, but I'll keep that in mind. Goldstone, it does have copper content in it, so it can actually maybe potentially be like how copper is used for joint pain and along those lines. It potentially can be used in that regard because it does have the copper content, and copper is one of the base is a really good healing element alongside gold. Well, for goodness sakes, gold, of course. Unless if you're me and you love silver instead, like gold. I prefer silver. Okay, this one. This little guy. This is a shungite, a little shungite pyramid. This isn't the cupcake. I didn't tell you to go Hong Kong face first out of there. Little shungite. This is not the highest grade of shungite, but shungite altogether, if you were to take the highest grade of shungite and put it in nasty water, it would actually legit filter it and make it crystal clear. I like to think of shungite as that stone that's like the bottom feeders in the fish tank. What is that other metal? Titanium. I like titanium too. Just make sure you don't get titanium on the teeth because, oh, that's not going to feel good. Yes, shungite is, if not one of the, if there had to be a stone, I would suggest everybody have shungite. And I believe it's only found in one village in Russia, which is because that makes it very difficult to get shungite right now. Gosh, why? But anyway, shungite. It is legitimately the best transmutation stone. Negative energy coming your way? Nope, it's gonna just numb on it and get rid of it. That's another one. Snowflake Obsidian, this little cutie. Yeah, Well, luckily, well, at least for me, I don't have to worry about like trying to break the bank just to get a piece. Snowflake Obsidian. This is like the child, the little kid, or like like again the child of the Obsidians. It's very spiritually attuned and is very easygoing, but it does have the protective side of Obsidian and the reflective side. This is actually a really good stone to actually, based on my findings, this is actually really good to actually interact with the Goetic divines with the Snowflake Obsidian because it has the sheerness to scribe with. If you're like with me when I scribe, because I mean I really like look into it. But then the little white specks on it too does give the connection to the crown to be able to get the messages in. But still, I love Snowflake Obsidian. Next one. Oh boy, we're getting down to the wire here. Oh, well, it couldn't be any kind of protection stone. Yes, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I really don't. That's the thing that really saddens me because a lot of the stones, and even like correspondences altogether, the ones that are underestimated, they tend to be quite the powerhouse. And just because it's like, oh, it's just Snowflake Obsidian, it's just that, you'd be surprised. You never know what it'll do for you. Like, here's a good piece of black tourmaline. I mean, this thing, I mean, this thing used to be a lot bigger. And of course, it broke some pieces off. But I mean, this thing is like a tank. Let's see, what's our next one? Here's a little angelite. I have 4 of them. This stone is just it's kind of chalky, but it's like I'm essentially while holding this, I hear like those little cherub and like the little cupid like cherub baby things making giggly noises. But it's better than the Legend of Zelda fairy going, "Hey, listen," every 2 seconds. Here is, well, this one could be called Milky Quartz, or I like to call it Snow Quartz. That with Angelite, funny enough, I just have that thought going in my head. Also, I didn't say it because I'm thinking, Angelite. I'm kind of a little bit careful when I bring those two together because I don't know. I just feel odd just saying. It just feels weird to me, but still, like here's one of them. Here's one of them. Here's another one. I think this is the one I even left it. There's another. Sit still. There's another one. And then here's probably the biggest one. Yep, got 4 of them. And it's funny because where I got them from was actually the same place where I got my my Kunzite pieces, and when I got my big honker piece Kunzite, this beauty, I got those angelites from the same place. But the problem though is that when they sent me the first batch with the angelite and the Kunzite, UPS lost the package. So I informed them because it was about a month late. So they sent me a new one, rush delivery. But when they sent me the rush delivery one, they only sent me a package of Kunzite. Only had 1 piece, but on the website it advertised for having 5 pieces, and the 5 pieces and the one that I got rush mail was actually the one that actually had this big honker piece and all the other ones over there, and then the 2 angelites too. But funny enough, as soon as they rush delivered it, the next day, the other one with the Kunzite and the other angelite popped up, and I asked them, "Do you want me to send them back?" And they're like, "No, but you can keep it as a gift." I'm like, okay, yeah. But yeah, that's how I got those little angelites. Now this one, Snow Quartz or Milky Quartz. Now for me, Some people like to be like, well, it's like clear quartz. Yeah, if you want to be lazy, but no. With snow quartz and clear quartz with the milky quartz, it's either these or ones really I really like to have in a grid to like really nurture something or like really provide support with and giving like some kind of sustenance to. Like here's a really good one. Well, of course it's a honker, but I mean you can really see the milky pigment in that one. Like it's so milky, even the reflection of it just is like, yeah, that is a good one. And also snow quartz, I actually have it when it's in a grid. Also, pretty much bringing the Saturnian quality of like, no, 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 you're not going anywhere, kind of like that. Just restriction and keeping things detained and all that. Speaking of that, well, of course, it couldn't be any kind of video without a blue sapphire. My another one of my guilty pleasure stones. I mean, I have two rings on both middle fingers that I've had since the end of 20 yeah, the end of 2019, like exactly when Saturn stepped into like before Saturn stepped for my return. Yeah, I got these as like a welcome home, hipster. Welcome home. Don't okay, if you have to break my neck and beat the living heck out of me, fine. Just don't break the face. That's the moneymaker, but still. Yeah, this is a really good blue sapphire. I love blue sapphire. And at least as a fun fact, with when you use stones like such as for Vedic remedies, and even like this like the rings that I'm wearing right now, these ones, even though they're not the right weight, but they are real sapphire. They're not lab grown, which is a big difference. If I was wearing lab grown sapphire, oh boy, I would not be doing so well. I would be doing worse. But when you're wearing or using or having stones on you, and when you follow the step by step process from like how the astrologer that prescribes the stone, and when you follow the steps by like cleansing it, charging it, by like putting it in a thing of milk for a set period of time, when the sunrise comes off, you hold it up to this like the sun, for example, is like showing like some steps you do. And as soon as it's dry, you bring it back and then you massage it like such. You say a mantra 108 times, then you hold the stone during Saturn's period, and that those I don't they're not really sadhana, but they're pretty much like rich remedial measures to actually mitigate the effects of Saturn, like to calm him down to not really snap your neck as hard. But when it comes to like blue sapphire, when you have Saturn stone and when you're handling it, you have to be really careful with it because, as we know with him, he's the legit perfectionist. If it's off by a little bit, he will still whack you one. Like, oh, off by just the carrot. Nope. Yeah, I mean, that's just how strict it is. He's strict it is. Okay, let's see. What's our next one? Speaking of blue stones, here's a good. Now, this is a lappy. I call it lappy instead of lapis lazuli. It's just easier that way. Here's a good old lappy. Which side has most of the. Okay, so it's that side. Okay, good. Here is the lappy. Now that. Here we go. Now that is a lappy. Milkshake. Don't jump out of my hand, you little crazy. Yeah, that is a lappy. That is. Oh, there we go. That was a good spot. That. Look at that gold stripe, my Lord Lanta. It's like I can barely even see it. Like when the light doesn't hit it, it's like, oh, I'm gone now. Oh, what a shame. You're never going to see it now. Then when you come to the light, oh, look at that. There it is. And I didn't know this about what the Egyptians used to do with lapis lazuli. They would take the stone, they would grind it up, and then the powder, they would actually use that as like their as potentially as like their eyeshadow and I don't know if they would use that as eyeliner, but I mean, but still, lapis as like eyeshadow. I mean, that clever. Got to give him props for that one. Next one. Actually, let's go with a little. Let's go with a little zappy one. Rutilated quartz. Now this thing has what's called the hairs of Venus in it. See, let's see if it'll pick it up. Should up there we go. My thumb was on it. Okay, nope. What? Okay. So where to go? There it is, right there. It's kind of, and actually, this is another one I got from Permita too. To see if I can get it. Show the hair. Show Venus's hair. If you, okay, I'm gonna calm that light down a little bit. Okay, show. There it is, right there on that spot. Okay. Show us the hairs of Venus. There it is, right there. I'm gonna brighten it up one more. Okay, well, for the last time, third time's the charm. The hairs of Venus, right? There we go, right there. Should be able to see very faintly, though, because the lighting is not getting it as intent as we wanted to get it. But there should be like a little, oh, there it goes, right there. Right where my thumb's at, right at the very top. Right there. Should see a little bit of like golden threads. That's the hair of Venus in the rhodochrosite quartz. Now, this thing. I can say every time when I've gripped the stone like this, like gripping it, I always get a jolt. And this is a very lightning stone. Like, it pretty much makes Zeus like, okay, Zeus, here, let me show you how it's done. Like, I just simply grasp it. 3, 2, 1. Like, I grab it, and it just gives me a jolt. Every time. I don't know why. It just feels weird. But if I was to take like the citrine, I don't get the jolt. This thing, every time. It just feels weird. It feels like feels like a very gentle, easy taser, and I don't like that feeling. Next one. Now this is beauty. People like to say it as smoky quartz. I like to just call it shadow quartz. This is a really good one too. Flip it. Yep, now that. I love this shadow quartz. And what I love to use shadow quartz for, most definitely, is definitely, of course, the scrying with. But it's also, I like to use it as a stone of healing, believe it or not. Because one of the best ways to, the best ways for, healing, believe it or not, is actually using the dark to heal. Because in the dark, when you have the darkness consume something, the dark just takes it. It just grabs and walks away. While the light makes it go, it just fries it and burns it away. Darkness just goes, off it goes. Swift and quick. Let's see. Okay. Why don't we here's another one. This little thing. This thing feels like water. It feels like legit you're holding water, but it's not a fluid. But it's like, oh, my hand's completely wet. But it's solid wet. But it's not flowy wet. This is a blue topaz. Sit still. This little guy likes to jump. Yeah, this is a lovely blue topaz. Probably, if not the one of the best stones to actually have for being like a writer or any kind of very deep spiritual meditation and actually using your thought process to actually communicate better. But just like clear quartz, blue topaz is also an amplifier. But it's a way, it amplifies in a way that encourages like a flow state as its primary way of amplifying. Like, say, if you're trying to get into a state of like perfect flow, blue topaz helps keep the flow going. So, like, say if you're in a writing like if you're writing in a prime, like if you're really on a writing spree and you're really going good, you have an idea and it's going, going, going. Blue topaz just says keep it going, keep the flow going. In a way, you could even say like, okay, blue topaz, definitely not Bruce, kind of like the idea of Bruce Lee, be like water, flow like water and stone. And I don't think a blue topaz is a common one, like a real blue topaz. Imperial orange topaz, I know, is a common one. Now we're down to the wire. Of course. This is obviously an amethyst, but this amethyst is actually one that my mother gave me a long time ago. I think it was actually in 2017 too. This amethyst, I tell you, after some time of me having it, it's like it's turning into a garnet. I don't know why. It's getting those specks of red in it. It goes amethyst, then it has a bit of a garnet feel to it. And I mean, I've had this thing ever since she gave it to me, which was like 2017, yeah. Ooh. Still a beautiful stone. Okay, we're now down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. And this one, I believe it's pronounced Agite. Could be wrong. Aijote. I think this was actually found in the state I live in, Arizona, for goodness sakes. This blue beauty. Now, this one is essentially the heart healer. Well, I mean, it feels like like those candy pieces that you have that kind of have like the kind of like a it's like I know it's taffy and it has caramel. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it looks like it. But this stone is so it's like soothing water on the emotional side. It's calming and then it kind of perks you up at the same time. It's very sweet and very gentle. And like you can even like see little parts of like where it's like caramel a little bit coloration. I don't know why, but it just I don't know. It's just a really happy, blissful stone. Okay, now we're getting down to the last 4 after this one. This one, the Stishenshite. It kind of looks like a blue snake fang. I know. I like it that way. I like a blue, kind of like a violet snake fang. Violet snake fang. Okay, we got the purple and then we got the black at the bottom. This stone is actually known to be kind of like the stone of the guiding teacher in a way. This is, of all the stones I have, this one's probably the most soft. It's at a hardness of 1.5. Yeah, Stishenshite. Yeah, it's a hardness of 1.5. It's even more delicate than calcite, I believe, and even selenite. It's like holding onto a sponge. But the reason why it's associated with a teacher that is very adaptable is because the stone, again, it's very soft, but that shows how the best teacher is one that is actually able to adapt to the student that they're guiding and teaching. Because how one student can pick up, like, say, for example, you have one student who can pick up, like, doing astrology very well. And then you have another student who is doing astrology and they are not getting it. Citizenship can take you from that state of, like, okay, moving really fast, and then take you to adapt to somebody who needs to be given more time to actually learn the subject more. It's a very soft, adaptable stone and very easy, very pliable. Now we're getting down to the line. Next one. I like to call this stone Morgan Freeman because it's Morganite, for goodness sake. So that's the joke. Morganite legit is probably one of my absolute favorites because Morganite is like the literally Libra in a rock. And it's also a barrel. It's so flawless in balancing masculine and feminine, but it also excels in like having in the centerpiece between two people to negotiate. It is a really good bartering stone too. Make sure that everybody gets their fair share. And of course, if you have this paired with Kunzite, I mean, good Lord, Atlanta, you legit have like the most potent love combination together, which of course is on this piece that I wear every Friday with a pink Argonite. Next one. Now, this one I believe is not really really out there in the world yet because it's a still new stone. This is known as the Aphrodite Calcite. It is pink, a little bit of white, and violet. Violet black at the bottom. So it's pink, and then it turns a little bit violety and a bit lavendery. Then it turns into that pitch dark violet black. So this one's actually a really it's a heart love stone that actually really brings up the the awareness and being able to see the deeper connection with another person. It's a new stone, and I mean I think it's newly discovered, and yeah, because it's a calcite, it likes to really get connections going, and it's again very soft, but I mean it's a heart psychic stone, the best put it, and it really focuses on having the ability to intuitively know who needs to have the most love, tender, and attention as a stone. Now, this next one, of course, I'm going to be, how do I put this? Of course, I'm going to be biased and have my favorite stone last because, well, why not? Next one. This gorgeous little thing. Oh, I love this one. Yeah, I know. I've been kind of delaying this one. The gorgeous black moonstone. Now, this beauty, let me tell you, this is by far my absolute favorite scrying piece. I could scry with this thing until legit my eyes fall out of my head. And the sheer and the shimmer on it, oh, it's the dive for. And yes, actually, let's see if I can actually point out where I actually saw. Let's see let's see if I can find it. Because when I first got this stone, actually I think I showed you Kendra where I was scrying with it for the first time. I'm like, oh look, I found Black Moon little symbol in it, like her astrological symbol in it. Because why not? Let's see if I can find it again. Wait a minute, okay, somewhere in there. I know it's in there somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is, right there. Don't know if I can see it, but it's right where my thumb's at. Should be able to see the C, right there, right there, down, and then move my finger back a little bit. There's the C. Yeah, literally. And whenever I put this in her space, I always take a drop of her oil, rub it in the palm, massage it into the stone, and then I just put it in her space so that way they can get recharged. And if she wants to spend time with it, of course she can, because we really got it for her. And now my big, absolutely, of course, my guilty pleasure, and I could care less what anybody thinks. My legit best stone, my favorite one. This is my stone. Holy my Lord Lanta, even the lighting, it's good Lord, overkill. This is my stone, Kunzite. And actually, I have never seen this Kunzite be this so brightly pink and vibrant. But then again, what I do with it, almost every week, what I do is I take a toothbrush, a very light toothbrush, very soft bristle toothbrush, and I take. Okay, where's my plant oils? I take neroli oil. Take some neroli. I take a little bit of, like a drop of geranium. Get it back up there. Geranium. Where is my... Oh, there we go. Definitely some blue lotus. Definitely. Now I need to find... Wait, is that it? Nope, that is a death oil. I do not want to put that. That would be a bad idea. Let's not put the death oil on it, because that, no. Okay, there's the rose oil. Okay, that's not... Okay, there's magnolia, and I just need one more. One more oil, is that it? Yes, nope. I thought it was. It wasn't. I know it's in here somewhere. If it's not there, then it's going to be down by one. One more drawer. Okay, one more drawer it is down. Wait. Oh, that's not it. To get down the drawer by one. That's not it. And it has to be this one. There it is. Wait. No, that's not it. I thought that was it, but that one was not it. That was a lie. The cake was a lie with that one. Oh, and also gangling. Cannot forget that one. That's 12. The one I have. Oh, wait. I found it. Wait. That is. Okay. So we have jasmine. Jasmine with stones in it. This one's magnolia. Then we have neroli, yangling, geranium. Oh, this is actually a healing mixture for the skin. Blue lotus, rosy, or rose. I can't get a feeling I'm missing one more flower oil that I have. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Maybe, did I put, was it pink pepper? But I don't know if pink pepper was one that I used, because pink pepper is a bit of a flirty one. And Kunzite is not much of a flirt. It's more of a more deeply devoted kind of a love stone. Not juniper berry. Juniper berry is like a little, agitating, like overkill battering ram, even though he's a tiny terror. Yeah, we'll go with. Okay, clary sage was one of them. I know that for a fact. Where is... No, I don't need fennel. I need... Crap. Oh, never mind. I found another one that I forgot about. I don't need clove. Give me one of you. Give me marjoram. If I can't find marjoram, okay, we're gonna... Oh, common myrtle, that'll do. So essentially what I do... Yep, you guessed it. Every single of these oils. I tend to start with the roll-ons first, and I just roll a little bit on each of them, like on the palm of my hand. Just a little bit, not too much. So we have magnolia, jasmine, neroli. Yep. We're going to go through each and every single one of them that's a roll-on, because I don't trust myself dropping a drop or two onto it, because I'll probably miss it. And then last but not least, rose. Which reminds me, tomorrow I'll be finally draining that rose tincture thing that I put on Instagram. I'll be draining that out, and I kid you not, that thing smells like candy. I didn't know that roses smell like candy, but anyway. So with the roll-ons, the palm of the hand, and I just simply massage it right into the stone. And like, if you thought it was shiny then, I mean, I've barely even massaged it in, and now it's even becoming more vibrant. Like, come on, easy there. You're not supposed to blind everybody with that, but oh well. Okay, here we go. So here he is. Yeah, I don't know. Here, let me put it over a bit more. Yeah, now that. Wow. I was looking like right at it when it was. I can't even look at it because the shimmer is like really bright. But yeah, that. Oh. Well, that's when you know the stone's happy, because it's blinding you with the glisten. Oh, good lord. Well, oh my lord, Landa smells like legit heaven. The heaven of paradise for us, not the heaven of pigeon men. It smells soothing too, but when it comes to like the other drops, like for example, the dropper bottles, like such. Okay, now I pretty much get all of them like ducks in a row. Nah, I don't want to put pink pepper onto this. Okay, so one at a time now. So first yep. Well, I have a really well the advantages of like doing like hoodoo, like doing hoodoo and actually really spending time with each specific plant and really delving deep with each one. It's like, well, then again, you need to have good intuition with it too. But like each of these oils and each of these plants, they kind of they have like a language, if that makes sense. But specifically, Tulsi, the first one I put on here, the holy basil. I mean, that's it. I'm not kidding. It kind of smells like chocolate. It smells like legit chocolate. And I could care less if somebody looks at me funny thing like, why are you smelling that? It's always up your nose. Don't be hating. Yangling. Oh, Lordy. I love Yangling. Yangling, I like to tell people, is like imagine that popular girl in school that everybody loved, and she was the prom queen by default, and every guy wanted to date her, but she refused to date any other guy because she wanted to be friends with everybody instead, and she didn't want to have any bad blood with anybody. Yeah, that's Yangling in a nutshell. It's a really happy, lovey plant. So now, I got a nice oil mixture on the bristles now, and then we gingerly, now this is where I go like gingerly careful. Just carefully. Just like that. And now Kunzite as a most hardness at 6.5, sometimes 7. You can get away with getting it in water, but when you put it in water, make sure it's not like a sudden surprise temperature shift. Like if it's like really cold to hot, because it's gonna make the poor thing cry and crack. And don't make the kunzite cry and crack. Please no. That's not the best way to care for it. And just simply just gingerly bristle it through. Have it there. Now right there at the top, we really want to get that and then nice and massaged out of there. Oh, there we go. Get out that dirty meth out of it. The nastiness gone. Put that there. And just to dry it off, I like to just massage it the rest of the way in. Just like that. This literally, I mean, if like the goddess had like a perfume, literally it would smell like what this stone smells like right now. Like, I can't even describe it. It's just flawless. It's gentle, floral, and very calming. Speaking of that, in the mail sometime, I'm also going to be getting another set of 3 oils that I'm so excited to try. One of them is Osmanthus. I haven't had that one before. I don't know what it smells like. Another one, I can't. It's not. Um, what is it called? It's not. It's not Helichrisium. It's not that one. But it's a floral flower oil, but I can't remember what it's called. But the other one, I am so excited. Oh, I cannot wait. Gardenia oil. Oh, I'm so excited for that one. Gardenia. As soon as I get it, I don't be surprised if you actually see me a picture like on Instagram with a bottle of Gardenia just all. What? Hey, you know what? Gardenia is part of the coffee family, okay? So this is my new caffeine fix. Yeah, gardenia up my nose. I could care less. Gardenia, legit, is my caffeine fix. It's either the gardenia plant or 5 cups of coffee. Take your pick. I actually forget it. Give me both. I love that. That one's going to be coming in the mail, along with that Argonite or Argonite pendant, but then little seal on it. Which reminds me, when that comes in, I'm going to be making a new Lilith piece with that too. But here is the end result of my Kunzite getting its nice shimmer treatment. But I mean, good lord. I mean, yeah. This is like, actually, when I got this from my friend Adam, I mean, this little guy, he was originally being put on the market for like my friend was selling him for about pretty close to almost about 160, but nobody was getting him, so he marked him down to like 90 something. I'm like, mine. Yep, that's how I got that Kunzite. Along with the fact of this one over here. This one, this little beauty, is got the Kunzite Tower. Now this Kunzite is completely different than, here, let me get my other 3. This Kunzite is completely different than this one. And different from this one. And here's the comparison. This Kunzite is more flirty. This one is a bit more on the playful time of the night kind of Kunzite. This one is more heart-centered. This is more for the heart. This one, it just feels more at home at the heart. This one is more focused on the heart that's actually trying to give it. Like trying to give this quality of Kunzite to outside of it. This one's more giving of its energy. This one is more reserved. This one likes to mention its mating season, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. Oh wow, I've been live for 2 hours. Good Lord, Lanta. Well, my watch time's going to go up. Actually, I think I better be getting ready to go to bed because I got to work in the morning. But it's going to be a short day, but oh well. Yeah, I'm probably going to take my leave here and probably do my what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to be doing like my I'm getting into I'm trying to push myself into a new routine that actually has me follow like the 7 days of the week, the seven heavenly bodies, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the days of the week, and actually like each closing day actually listen to the sound of the planet that actually owns the day, close out the day with it, and then when the sunrise comes up, hear the next planet in line, just like the recording from space, just listen to it, just to like kind of get into the planetary's energy. Oh yes, and trust me, this is only the beginning. There's going to be a lot more gems. I'm still, one of these days, I really want to get a piece of serpentine. Okay, fine, I'll admit it. She wants me to get her a piece of serpentine, and you know what we say with whenever she wants something. Yes, milady. No, we don't say no. We never say no, because we know what happens when we tell a queen no. They just don't do it. Yeah, it's best to not be like, no, don't. What? Okay, I'm gonna take my leave here, so I'll probably see you guys later then. I'm gonna take my fly away.